Okay, so you can see here in your screens the postcard series worksheet. So you will be doing a series of postcard series activities. Actually, what is my inspiration in doing this activity? If we were in a classroom, what we would have been doing would be I'll be asking you to like print out a copy or print out a copy of a painting that you really like, and then you're going to present it to the class orally. So this is like an oral presentation that we usually do in class. I like doing that because just imagine how just imagine how exposed everybody will be if we internalize everything that's being given. I apologize. There are a lot of dog sounds of dogs barking behind me. Our may he rest in peace. Our neighbor just died, so we have to we have to bring in our dogs, and then there are many people around the area. Kaya medyo marami kayong dog sounds na naririnig. Harley, so this is the activity that you will be doing for your first grading exam, actually. As I have said earlier, we like using this for Google Classroom, or we like using this for the class because when we are inside the classroom, this is very exciting and enticing at the same time because everybody gets to share a painting that he or she likes. And you're going to be presenting two for the first grading sana pag nasa classroom tayo. So, for example, what are my two, I will ask you to look for what's this objective art, and the other one will be non-objective or abstract art. For example, pag ako, I would have brought in and for my favorite painting, I would have brought in for example yun the one that I showed you earlier, which is Mango Pickers, and I would have brought also Boogie Woogie, and then I will be talking about those paintings. So imagine if all of you will be presenting paintings. There are, I think, around 48 students who are enrolled in art appreciation in your class or in your section. That means that you will be exposed to 96 or 98 paintings already. So that include that that adds up to your cultural knowledge, or to your cultural exposure. That's why I really love this activity. Now, for the first grading, just to give you an idea, your teachers are not required to give you objectives, but teachers definitely are. I mean, we have an option not to give you objective, but teachers definitely have an option or are given a backup to do that. For my class, however, I'll be dividing your examination into two. So your first exam, the first part of your exam is what I am presenting to you right now. I want you to start off research online. Go online, or maybe right now you already have a painting in your head or in your mind. I want you to look for a painting that embodies the kind of taste that you have for art. We've been doing this one for the whole first grading. We started our activity with what is art for you and what is not art for you, and then we talked about subjects. I kept asking you, or we had discussions about the kind of artworks that we really like. So I hope that the previous sessions have given you an opportunity for you to go over the kinds of the different artworks, and for you to establish your taste or your liking. What is your standard or idea for what is art or what is not art? And so to answer that question, extending that question to the first grading examination, I'll be sending over a worksheet within the hour. I'm going to share you two worksheets. This is postcard series worksheet 1. The other one is worksheet 2. What is the difference? Worksheet 1 is about representational art. The other one is about non-representational art. Those are 30 points each, so that's 60 points total. Where am I going to get the rest of it? I'm going to get it from your examination. So you're going to be having an objective examination during your schedule. Technically it's just 40 points, but it is 40 points only because I the one of the ulterior motive why I want to do that is I want you to try class marker, and I want you to not forget the ideas or the terms or the key terms that we discussed in our first grading. The focus, as I have said, I think in the chat, was unit I think unit 2 and 3 yung message ko sa inyo. Okay, so aesthetics and subjects of art, those are the main focus of Those are the main focus. And of course, categories of art. Don't worry, these are the key terms. If you've been reading your handouts or if you've been watching the videos that I sent you earlier, these are the most dominant terms. Sila yung mga laging pinag-uusapan. So I feel like it's not a very difficult thing to memorize. Now, what are you going to do for the first two worksheets? Now, you're going to be doing like a postcard series, but you cannot do that now because you are online. So what you're going to do is very simple. I just want you to look for any representational artwork online that represents your taste, as I have said a while ago. Something that answers the question, what is art for me? Or what do I think is a good or a beautiful kind of painting. So yun yung magiging task ninyo. You're going to be looking for that painting that depicts or that shows what you like. I'll be showing you in here a way, the right way for you to Google. Uh, okay, so you are in your Google Chrome, for example. I want you to go to images. What happened? I want you to go to, okay, so you are in Google Images. Now I want you to, for example, search for something. For example, you've been researching, and then I hope that everybody will not stick to the curated or to the very famous ones. I mean, it's okay. If it's really what embodies your taste. The example Mona Lisa, of course, is a painting that everybody has heard of. Everybody talks about. It's something that is embedded in our art appreciation courses. But I would prefer it also if you look for others that are similar to it. Example, why do you like Mona Lisa? Maybe because it's a portrait. You think that art is about portraiture, having to embody a person in a piece of art. There are many portraits that you can use. It doesn't have to be Mona Lisa. So try to expand a little bit. This is also like an examination or application about researching for what a good art is. For example, my favorite painting my favorite representational painting is Nighthawks by Edward Hopper. Now, if for example for example you're going to research online, you type the title of the artwork and then the artist also, if that can help. Ayan. And then I want you to go to tools. All right. So you go to tools. You can do this also in your cell phones. You go to tools and you either select medium or large. What's the difference there? Let's see. For example, here usually Wikipedia has a very good quality. So if you click on that, for example, medium, it is clear kasi. So it's easier for you to go over the painting. Just to give you a little bit of just to give you a little bit of information about using images. For example, Edward Hopper is easier to use because it's already in the public domain. What does that mean? As long as you credit it to him, anybody can use this. So we don't need to pay. For example, if you have a book and then um if for example you want to tawag dito, you want to use it in a book, for example, or you want to use it in a t-shirt, you can definitely use Nighthawks because they are in the public domain. Nakalagay dyan dito sa Wikipedia. So when you get there, in Wikipedia, you can click download original file. It's actually that area here, there. So you can download that. And then what will come out will be a very good copy of it. Ayan, tingnan mo. So, it's nice to study the painting because you can zoom in and out, diba? Ang ganda. So, it will help you understand technique also. Especially, for example, if you're studying Monet, if you're studying Monet, for example, it's a nice way also to Okay, so for example, the Water Lilies, the very famous Water Lily series by Monet. So if you look into that, again, this is Wikipedia. So if you click that, this is also in the public domain yata. Ay, hindi pa siya naka-public domain. So you can click that, download the original file, and then you can see the file in there, you can zoom in and then you can see the quality. You can see how it's painted, diba? So that's what you can talk about also. How Monet used brush strokes. That can be a part of your analysis. Okay, so that's I'm giving you tips on how to download or how to look at paintings properly or how to get paintings online properly. So yung mga yan. If it's very small, I'll give you an example. The problem kasi if it's very small, let's say for example any size, and then example to, mukha ba to maliit? Okay, let's try. So open image in new tab. Malaki siya. This is big. The problem for example kasi is let's deliberately put it on icon. If it's quite small like this, so if you click that, open image in new tab, it's so small, diba? So once you paste it into your output, it can get a little blurry or it can get a little grainy. So you don't want that for your output. You want to have a copy, a soft copy that you can zoom in and out of very comfortably so that you can also see the details of the painting, diba? So yan yung maganda dyan. Then you can also see properly ano ba yung nakasulat doon, only 5 cents. Okay. Phillies, diba? So that's part of your analysis, ano yung mga nakasulat doon, which you cannot really see if you are getting a very poor quality of the painting. And you get the painting that you like, so you copy that, for example, and then you go back to your worksheet already. So going back to your worksheet, what we're going to do, I keep telling you this one since our first our first few days or first few meetings. There are 5 very important details that you need to take note of. So in your exam, for example, La Gioconda or the Mona Lisa by Leonardo da Vinci, 1503, oil on wood, Louvre Museum in Paris. So you can put those details there, and then you have to put your painting here. So you're going to insert that. I'll do that now. Copy image so that I can show you a sample. So you do that there. Ba't ayaw niya? Why? Ayaw niyang copy image. Ano ba to? Medyo wait lang ha. Ayan, so for example, that's the painting already. Of course, you have to adjust it a little bit. Wrap text. Okay. Let's erase a little bit of the spaces in there. Pull it up. There you go. Wow, that looks neat, right? So of course, make sure that it is neat. What is missing? Source, right? So you can put there your source. Now there are some of you who copy who put Google. That's not the source, guys. So I try to look for the correct source or the original source. Going back to your Google Chrome, for example, where is Nighthawk? So this is Nighthawks. You can actually, ay bakit nawala yung sinearch ko kanina? This is from Wikipedia, remember, we got it from Wiki. So, ayan, eto siya. Once you click there, actually, if you download in Wikipedia, it's easier. Why? It's already here. This is the source. You just copy that. Can you see that? You just copy that. And then go back to your Microsoft Word, to your task, and then you put it there. There you go. And see, so it's clean, it's malinis, right? So it's a nice output. And then you can start putting already. There pala, I'm so sorry, hindi ko nakita. Ginawan ko pala siya ng space. So you can put the details in there. So it's copying the photo, which is weird. Okay, there. So in many cases, this information can be found on a label or gallery output. So you put it there, You can also put, for example, where is the source, like where is it now? Okay, pwede mong makita rin yan sa Wikipedia. Actually, Wikipedia is very helpful for art. I mean, we keep telling students that it's not a very good source. But for me, on a base level, Wikipedia kasi is, of course, these are very well-known artworks. Wikipedia is the best place for you to see it on a surface level. So if you look at that, all of the details are already discussed there. See? The artist name, the medium, the movement, the dimension, the year, etc. Kopyahin mo lang. So where is the location? It's in the Art Institute of Chicago. Okay, so you go back to your output there. Then put it there. Okay. Ganyan lang. Okay. Okay na yan. Parang ganyan. Then you, subject matter now. You have to research now. So you have to look for sino yung, what are we looking at in the photo. Remember that this is representational art, so try to make sense about the photo. Is there a history about it? Maybe there's a story about this couple in there, about the waiter, about the guy sitting alone on the bar with the hat on. Those are things you can Google, so you can research them. And please make sure to paraphrase them. I'll be showing you one thing later, so make sure that you paraphrase your output or your activity. After you paraphrase, of course, you put the name of the artist here. Who is the artist? It is Edward Hopper. And then the date. All of these ones are details that you can find online. Provenance, where was it made, for whom. So you have to do a little bit of research. Okay, so where is Edward Hopper's Nighthawks painted, for example, is in Philadelphia. You put the details in there. Who are the people? Are they recognizable? Maybe this is a painting that was, for example, Mona Lisa or the La Gioconda was actually a commission. So it was painted for somebody. Okay? And then you can also include in here the kind of art, like what we discussed last week. Is it a portrait? Is it a still life, etc., etc.? Locations also in online. Technique and medium. This is oil paint on canvas. Okay, so you just put the details in there, and then last part will be the brief description in your own words. Okay, this is very important. In your own words, in a few sentences, describe the work. What does it look like? Is it a representation of something? It's like you are reporting, but you are writing it down. Please, no need for you to plagiarize. It's just how many? 6 to 7 sentences. I want you to organize your thoughts properly and then put them down into the soft copy or into your output. Wag yun nang kopyahin. Wag na tayong mangopya online. This is a very simple task technically, and then I'm giving you 30 points for it. It's quite generous, but I hope that you will be kind enough to, or responsible enough to put the right thing. Okay, so after you are done with that, so of course all the details are already there. Ang hindi ko lang yata pala nalagay dito ay sources. So you put in there your sources, and then you put in there, kahit in bullet forms lang, your links and other sources. Now, if you are done, if you are done with that, you just click save, of course. And then I'll be sharing you my Google Classroom. Okay, for example, let's pick RTOP 5 to RTOP na to example. So this is my student account, okay? Kunwari I'm a student. So if you're going to turn in a classwork, it's not yet on, but let's try the concrete poetry activity. This is what it looks like with you, right, in your Google Classroom, diba? So what are you going to do with this? If you're going to turn it in, I want you to click that, and then you're going to include your file. You're going to upload your file. So for example, I'll be putting any random files in here. Wag yung not a big deal. Sorry, this is the only file that's accessible. Okay, so you have it in there. Oh, what happened to there's a part in there where you're supposed to check the plagiarism, parang ganun. I think you can see it later in your Google Classroom, okay? Because I need to turn it on. When it's on, kindly double check that what you have is plagiarized. Another way to check if a copy is plagiarized or not. Example, ito yung output mo, okay? If this is your output, what do you do? This is very long. You cut it into few sentences muna. Siguro the first four. You get that, you copy, and then you search it in Google. You just type it in Google. You just paste it there and then see. Okay, so as you can see, there's no part in here that are in bold, meaning it's not copied. There are no similar content on the internet. But let's say for example, sige, let's copy and paste from the internet. Nighthawks. Example, you are copying from Wikipedia. Example, you are copying. So example, you copy this, paraphrase it a little bit. Now let's try searching that here. Look at that. Magbo-block siya. So I can that's how it tells that's how it tells or informs what is this? What am I using? Grammarly, that what you are doing is copied. That's why I actually want you to submit in PDF or to submit in Google Classroom or in PDF or in Word, because it's also very fast for me. Okay, to give you an idea how it happens. This is my this is my browser. I have Grammarly in here. So it's going to tell me how many, especially for essay activities. Kaya yung iba yata sa inyo, naka-experience na may binalik akong activity or ano, it's because my Grammarly is very fast. It can tell you already how many. I can open 20 files or 20 outputs in 5 minutes, and then it will run. So there's the plagiarism part. It will tell you how many parts of it is copied from the internet or from online. It will give me the percentage. So not to threaten anybody in class, I'm just showing it to you so that you know why some teachers are able to copy or to look into plagiarism very fast. Ayan. So see, ayan, sabi niya, 12% of your text matches this source. It's because this part or this paragraph is copied. So it will also tell me where it comes from. So I will tell you where it is. So I will download the linked file. Kayo yung iba sa inyo na, maybe there are some of you experienced. I just copied that and I told you, I will tell you, I know where you copied your output. Ano lang, I'm just sharing to you how I check, or how some of your teachers check, so that you'll be very careful with your outputs. It's very easy to detect plagiarism now that we are online. That's one of the benefits of doing online class. As a teacher, na-check ko agad kung plagiarized content or hindi. So going back, if you are anyway, um that's the activity. The other one is actually your eto, it's abstract art or non-representational art. So just like the very first one, you're going to look for an abstract painting, and that's what you're going to talk about here in your output. Now the points are quite fluid, so there's no specific part like this part is 2 points. There's nothing about that. I removed the rubric. Why? Because I will be discussing to you what I'll be looking into your output. Number one will be uniqueness of the artwork. I'm not saying that you challenge yourself so hard that you look for outputs that or paintings that are very difficult to interpret. No, that's not my request. Look for an output that will really speak to you, or that you really enjoy. Makikita ko rin 'yan doon sa pagsagot mo, how you answer your output, okay? That's the very first one. Number two is I will see if you understood the artwork that you are talking about. For example, remember your activity before on categories of art? 'Di ba? So someone wrote there, for example, halimbawa, Les Miserables. And then you put in there, instead of you put it under theater, Les Miserables, and then you put Anne Hathaway. Anne Hathaway is an actress, and she appeared in Les Miserables. It was in a film. So number one, you didn't, ano yung dalawang mali doon? Number one, wrong category. It must be under film kung Anne Hathaway talaga ang pinag-uusapan. But then Anne Hathaway is also secondary in the film. She is an actress. It's more important to write the director. So there are two things that are wrong in there. So I know that you do not know what you're talking about because you did not research properly. Yun pa lang. Just the mere information, I can already tell if a student did not research properly or you were not able to look for the correct details. So please make sure that you use the correct details, and please make sure that you use your own words under brief description. So that's the very first part. That's the first part. That's the first area or section of your first grading exam. And then the rest of it, 40 points, will be multiple choice. Don't worry, it's multiple choice. It will be in Google. It will be in class marker during your schedule. When is your schedule with me? It's already in it's in our group chat. So just double check the schedule that was given in the memo. Any questions for our first grading examination and for the activity? Anybody? I'll be posting this right now or within the hour before 5 p.m. so that if you have any questions, you just go over it. Tingnan nyo na lang siya. And then you can start working on it actually. If you want to finish it during the weekend, go on. Why not? You can finish it during the weekend. And then just submit it to me next. Just make sure that it is submitted. Just submitted to me next week before your examination. Any questions? All right. So if there are no questions, I leave it to you then. I'll be